we're going to talk about today is the framework and the method that we've been using to really increase the handoff from intake call to sales professional. And the kind of format we've been using that has really, really helped decrease the amount of talk time with our customers while increasing our close percentages and making it much easier for both our people that are doing the intake calls as well as our sales professionals. As we made the switch from the model where we were having all of our sales reps taking the intake calls, now we have a team that does outbound dialing and intake calls. So we had to build kind of a new framework for it, and that's what we're going to go over today. So if you guys haven't checked it out before or you need a refresher, I've done one of these calls before on an intake call of our script, our framework, and also just on the importance of it. You know, the analogy I give is this is the first impression. This is you showing up to a job interview, and you can either show up, 5-10 minutes late with your hair looking crazy and look like you just rolled out of bed, or you can show up 15 minutes early, dressed nicely, prepared with a resume in your hand. And what most contractors are doing when they answer the phone is the first one. It's, highly distracted. Someone that doesn't really care that much about if the job sells or not. And they're just, they kind of go through the motions, and it's a 2-minute call. And it's like, hey, we might have somebody out there tomorrow. They'll give you a call back. So if you want the framework of how to do the intake call, you can go back and watch that. But this is about the handoff. Now, this is relevant whether you use a handoff or if the sales rep is going to do it, the follow-up call or the follow-up appointment themselves. And the reason for this is because one of the most important things to remember in sales is that rapport, which is another word for trust, rapport is not constant. No emotion is constant. Meaning if you're super happy about that brand new car you got yesterday, I guarantee in 2 years, you're going to be looking for another car, or you're going to be like, that's just my car. Same thing with rapport and trust. If I had an amazing intake call this morning and you come out tomorrow, when you show up tomorrow, you're still kind of a new person. Like, yeah, I talked to you yesterday. There's a little bit of trust, but I'm not in the same level of rapport that I was yesterday with you when we were on the phone. Unless we can jog the brain to drop back into that same rapport. And so that is where this framework comes into play. Is it's basically like a little reminder that, hey, to the subconscious part of the brain, hey, we talked yesterday. Hey, I really listened to you. Hey, because I listened to you, you can trust me. All right. And then the other big thing it does is it sets the stage and gives the customer the confidence that they can make a decision today. And it's because of how we've been trained in all of our life. Adam always talks about sell like a doctor. Well, what happens when you go to the doctor? You go, you fill out some form, right? Then, the nurse or the physician's assistant comes in, asks you a bunch of questions, does your vitals, kind of gets the details. And then the doctor comes in and says, hey, it looks right here like you've been having this pain for this, and this. And they maybe ask one more question, but then they're like, oh, you probably have, maybe a torn ACL. This is what we're going to try to do. But the doctor doesn't come in and ask you the same 10 questions that the nurse just asked you. One, because it's not efficient time-wise. But two, it's not a great experience for you because then you have to repeat yourself. And anytime you have to repeat yourself, you feel like the person didn't listen to you or the company didn't listen to you. And if someone doesn't listen to me, how can I trust them? You're not even hearing what I'm saying. So how can I trust you to make a recommendation? You don't even know anything about me or my situation or my life plan or whatever. So how can I make a recommendation? So what we want to do is have a structure that whoever's doing the intake call, whether it's yourself, the sales rep, and then they're going to go out themselves, or, even if it's a call center or your front desk person, whoever it is, they follow a framework that is provided to the salesperson to go out and close it. And that person follows that framework and drops the homeowner back into rapport. All right. So I'm going to drop the questions into the chat, and then we'll kind of break down the questions, and then we'll break down the format of how you present this to the homeowner. So let me pull these up really quick. All right, so here's the 8 questions, and these questions are all captured if you're following the intake call script that I've provided before. But these are just the 8 questions that we are going to utilize to drop back into rapport, all right, into our scripted handoff, all right? So run through the 8 questions, how old the roof is, pretty simple. What is the problem and how long has it been going on? Again, when you go to the doctor, it's not like, hey, what's going on? It's, oh, my knee hurts. They don't just go, okay, yep, and they diagnose you. How long has the knee been hurting? What makes it hurt? Is it sharp? Is it dull? So we always want more about the problem than just, I have an old roof, or I need to replace my roof. That's not the problem. Why do you need to replace your roof? Oh, insurance is about to drop me. Oh, I got some blown off shingles. Oh, it's 20 years old. I have a leak, whatever it is. We need more about the problem and how long it's been going on, because a customer that has a 1 day old leak is an entirely different customer than one that has a 1 year old leak. If you've been living with that leak for 1 year, 2 years, you don't have that urgency. So I know I have to create the urgency. Because you've already been living with it for 2 years. You're not motivated to get it done today. But if that leak started yesterday and you're calling me right now, you're probably freaking out. And you're like, I need to get this done tomorrow. And so understanding that how long it's been going on will help craft the message and how we're going to talk to the homeowner. All right. Which then rolls into how soon they want it done based on how long they've lived with it. We want to try to, on the initial call, get them to set it. Hey, I want it done as soon as possible. Hey, I want it done before hurricane season. That's something we're asking right now in our Florida intake calls. Hey, sounds like most of my homeowners I worked with were hoping to get this done before hurricane season. Well, hey, we're already into it. So are you like most of my homeowners who are hoping to get this done before the first one hits? And they're like, oh, yeah, I need to get it done before okay, great. But what I can do is I can fast track you. We don't got much time. We're already in hurricane season. So, let me go ahead and talk to you later today. And then when we talk to them later today, hey, I know you mentioned earlier that you really want to get this done before the first hurricane hits. So if you want to get this done and have that guarantee, we got to get moving today. I need shingle selections today. And like now they are driving the urgency. I'm not being pushy. I'm being a good customer service. They want to sprint. I'm helping them sprint. But if I don't get that urgency from them first, then I'm the one pushing. And it's like, whoa, hold on, man. I just called you yesterday. Why are you trying to get me assigned today? So really important that they establish the urgency and tie it to something. If you're in a market like monsoon season starts June 15th here in Arizona in 3 days. That's all we're talking about on the phone. Florida, hurricane season, June 1st. As we get later in the year, like, don't you want to get this done before winter? If you're in the Midwest or Northeast, use something that time bounds it, and then they can create their own urgency off of that. And if you don't have anything and you're just like in a rainy market, like, hey, don't you want to get this done before the next big rain? There's always something. In Arizona, we were talking about, hey, don't you want to get this done before summer? They're like, oh, yeah, I don't want the guys up there when it's 118 degrees. You can find something, but something that's out of your control that will make them have that urgency. All right. Where are they at in the process? Whether it's insurance or retail, that matters immensely, right? Has the adjuster been out? Oh, you already got the loss sheet in hand. Oh, you haven't even opened a claim. Retail, I've gotten 0 bids. I've gotten 6 bids. Some of the people we're talking to now with the new way we're generating some of our leads with our in-house call center, they've gotten 13, 14 estimates just because that's how they are. And so we take an entirely different approach with them. And we don't even talk about price. We don't talk about estimates. We just get right to it and say, hey, what is holding you back from making a decision? And that's how we open the call. But that's only because they have 14 estimates. There's nothing I'm going to tell them that, oh, I have 105-star reviews. Oh, I have this. They've seen it all if they have 14 estimates. So now it's more of like a psychological thing. Now it's more of like something internal that's not allowing them to make a decision. So understanding where they're at in the process will help you to understand what value you can provide. If they've had 3 other roofers out there, why haven't you moved forward with any of them? If the adjuster already came out, oh, did they issue a loss sheet? Hey, has somebody audited your loss sheet yet? I love that line. If they already have a loss sheet in hand and they're calling to get 3 quotes and you're in an insurance market, right? There's some homeowners like that. Then what we ask is, hey, if you have the loss sheet, great. Has anybody else you've spoken with offered to audit your loss sheet? They're like, audit my loss sheet? What does that mean? And then we explain, hey, yeah, this is how insurance works. They send the itemized estimate over. What we can do is look at that, see if they've missed anything. So that way we can supplement and get you some additional money. Whether you decide to do business with us or somebody else, you'll want to make sure you're working with an insurance expert that knows how to audit a loss sheet. And if they've talked to 2 or 3 other roofers and they didn't offer to audit the loss sheet, that's why I use the word audit, because it's a lot more formal. It seems a lot more professional with it. Other people may have offered to look at the loss sheet, but I don't want you to look at my loss sheet because then you know how much to charge me. But instead, if I'm going to audit it, that changes things. And then if I say, hey, I'm going to help supplement and get you additional money, whether you choose me or somebody else, it will still be your money. That takes away all the risk with it as well. And just so everybody's aware, I'm not ever going to supplement on a claim that I'm not going to get as well. Like, it's just, it helps them understand that, like, I can provide value. Yeah, 100%, Mike. Yeah. What prevented you from choosing the previous contractors? Yeah. And we'll just ask, hey, what didn't you like about them? Or you can even ask, hey, what did and what didn't you like about the other roofing bids? Oh, I really liked that their estimate was super detailed. I didn't like that they didn't have financing. Okay, great. We need to put a super detailed estimate with financing and we'll win the deal. All right. So that's where that in the process. And then that also helps you understand what you actually can bring to the table. All right. So we're halfway through. I just want to take a quick pause. What questions or comments or anything else anybody wanted to add or for me to unpack on the first four, or how we ask it, or anything on those first four?